What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's get started with our F1 2019 career mode. Of course, as you guys might know, just starting things over after our previous career mode getting a little bit screwed up, especially after the patch. Just the Williams was already last and he got even further last, so it was really boring to get through everyone in the live streams. It was quite boring because we were always closer to the back. So yeah, why not let's restart it, and of course let's get ourselves through the F2 Championship, see if we can conquer it. In terms of our teams, of course I'm going to go with Campos, just like last time around. I really like some of the liveries, it's the only thing that changes, but it's the car I'm used to. I'm also going to pick the Mercedes Academy, but yeah, it's the car I'm used to. It's the Campos is the only one I drive when I'm on F2 championships and everything like that, so I'm going to use that one for the time being. In terms of the AI, I'm gonna bring it to 101 for the time being, and if I need to do anything, I'm going to change. In terms of our qualifying, I was a bit divided because I wanted to do full, but full would take so long, especially because you can't simulate through it, because you get the simulated lap times by the AI, which are OP. So full would be almost as long as the race itself, but at the end I decided to go with full. In terms of our gameplay settings, we're going with corner cutting on regular because I suck at the game. And in terms of the assists, which I'm going to show in a second, I'm going to be driving without the line. Of course, when it rains and in practice, I'm going to be using it, because just to get acclimatized to everything, and I'm not as good in the rain. I just don't have much practice because it doesn't happen as often, right? So yeah, let's get things kicked off then.
Campos' new driver really commanding the race here. Devon Butler still ruthlessly giving chase. These two have been really scrapping it out for the early wins in the championship. And something's wrong. Butler sees his chance. Some kind of mechanical failure. Picking up speed again. It's unclear what the issue was. Can they still finish this race?
Looks like an issue with the turbo. You've lost some speed at the top end, but you're very close to the finish. You can still compete and get some points here. Don't give up. Just do the best you can. We're all behind you.
So yeah, this is the circumstance we are in at the moment. We are dropped down to P5. We have Weber right behind us trying to get past, and we don't have our turbochargers. So yeah, that one is going to definitely be fun. Let's see how it goes.
And wants to get past. Repeat, Lucas wants to pass.
I understand he wants to pass. We are actually going to struggle quite a bit with the brakes, because I haven't driven this car in a while, and especially not at this track. Last time I did it was on the day the game came out. So as you can see, we are struggling quite a bit. We had an awful transition there on the last chicane, and we also don't have the turbocharger, so our acceleration won't be the greatest. So it's our teammate. I'm confident in my abilities to catch him up in the championship further on the line, and he's just quicker, so there's not much point holding him up. So yeah, now it's just damage control as he gets past us through turn 1.
That's great. Lucas can push on now. Lucas wants me to pass on his thanks. I know it's frustrating, but you made the right call for the team. Now we're all with you. Just bring it home as best you can.
Okay, that's exactly what we are going to try. At the moment we have Nick De Vries right behind us, then we have Latifi, and it is Makino, and then Fukuzumi, if I'm not mistaken, and behind them looks like one of the ART guys, at least from the minimap, and we're just going to try to keep them at bay for as long as possible. As you can see, 35 out of 37 laps, so not too much longer until the end of the race. Fortunately there, looks like we took a bit more curve on the entry there, so carrying a little bit more speed, allowing us to keep ourselves away from the Vries, even though it got to DRS there. Big puffs of smoke coming from the brakes. At this point I absolutely forgot it was basically the default setup that was in these cars, so I forgot to check the brake bias, so I'm going to struggle with the brakes for a couple more laps as we go on board with the Canadian. We have Latifi there, is going to also try to pick up any pieces that might come his way. We really missed the apex there on the entry to the chicane. Let's see on the exit, are we going to get better acceleration? Let's see, we did get a couple car lengths off on our rivals. So yeah, they look like they are too far behind, but of course they have the car working without zero issue, and they also have slipstream and DRS, but at this point at least we have been able to maintain our P6 just ahead of the train. As you can see there on the background, there is also two MP Motorsport guys going side by side through turn 1. Don't know if you guys caught it. It was probably Boccolacci battling his teammate. We actually don't know who that is, but yeah, that was for about 13th place, I think, so it doesn't really matter too much in terms of our little battle. Or it's not really a battle, it's just me trying to survive as long as I can, right? I'm still keeping myself a couple car lengths from the Dutchman, so at least we are doing that bit right. Let's see how it goes until the end of the lap. It's going to have DRS soon. Let's see, we go a little bit wide there on the exit. Fortunately we didn't catch the grass. Let's see how it goes. It's definitely going to get closer with the DRS. Let's see, under braking, and yes, we go wide and it closes in quite a bit. That might give him the opportunity to overtake that he was looking for. He just needs to keep himself close to me through this last sector, and of course with me struggling on the brakes, he's really going to be able to do some damage. Let's see how it goes, getting himself down with a wider approach to the chicane. I was worried that he might have just dived me onto the left-hander there, so that's why I went further to the middle of the track. He does get a better exit. I pulled away a slight bit, but then the slipstream and the DRS, the speed difference just kicks in. It's going to pull off to the left side of me as we go on board with Makino. You can see Latifi is also trying to have a go. We go on the inside of both of them. We have contact with De Vries, and the Canadian going to say thank you very much. Promotes himself up to P7, but fortunately we got ourselves P6. It was a bit tough. I wasn't really trying. At that point I had given up on taking back De Vries' position. The thing was that I just wanted to outbrake Latifi, and De Vries was so early on the brakes that I had to get out of the rear of him, and by doing that I had to release the brakes to turn in and not lock up. So I still locked up quite a bit. That was quite a bit of smoke coming from the tires there, but yeah, we didn't get any damage on him, and we are able to carry on, no penalties as well. There's just a bit of contact. Unfortunately, De Vries has lost his place to the man we have on your screen. He's trying to hunt me down. When you do a mistake there, he's going to recover the place. Ooh. We were able to recover that one under acceleration. But yeah, at this point we finally reminded ourselves to bring the brake bias back to 56, just to get a bit more comfortable as Devon Butler gets the line in P1. Let's see, a little bit of squirtiness there on the exit, trying to control the wheel spin the best we can while keeping good acceleration, and we pulled it off. We survived. Great job.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Yeah, the team is happy with our performance. I am happy with our performance. We managed to survive and do the best we could, considering we lost the place to Weber there. But other than that, I'm very happy with the result. And hopefully we didn't lose too many points in the championship to Butler, who ended up taking the win. Let's see soon how big the points gap is.
A great win then for the Carlin team today. Davide, what do you think made the difference here?
I think what won them the race was their ability to adapt. At every point, they delivered what was needed. They were calm and steady when they needed to be, but they were ruthless and aggressive when it was demanded of them. There wasn't anything out there that they weren't prepared to handle. Let's see if they can keep it up this season.
And there you have it, today's winners. Having raised some of the biggest names in F1 to date, Carlin have once again shown their expertise when it comes to recruiting new talent. No doubt today's winners have a bright future ahead of them. They certainly deserve it after today's performance.
Okay, there you have it. Great performance from the Carlin team as Butler takes P1, and we have a few familiar faces on the podium as well, as Albon took P2, so he's the only driver to be able to beat at least one of the Carlins, as Lando Norris gets himself on the last step of the podium. In terms of our results at the end of the race, as guys can see, we had, of course, the podium, then Russell in P4, then Weber with the fastest lap as well, which is great. In terms of the standings, we are losing to Weber and to Butler. The gap is almost double from Butler to myself, so yeah, we have a few interviews to do though. We have an appointment with Emma, so let's catch up with her and see how it goes. Before that, of course, we are going to take a look at the team standings, and we are losing 24 points to Carlin. But yeah, hopefully we can improve that in the future.
There you are. That was an exciting race. It definitely got people talking about you, which means I was able to secure a quick interview.
Okay, we're all set over here.
Just a minute. Remember, anything you say to the press can go very, very public. So be relaxed, but also be conscious of what you're saying and how it might come across to other people, okay? I think we're ready.
Great. So Emma keeps telling me you're the one to watch this season. If that's true, you'll be doing plenty of these. Just remember, be yourself. And the more you can give me, the better this will go. Right, stand here. Turn a little this way for me. Perfect. Ready? An exciting race today. Let's get your perspective. So you and Lucas are new to the team. How are you settling in?
Well, I mean, I've had to do it in every single team I've gone throughout my career, so yeah, I don't think I really need to do the settling in bit.
Okay, so how did you feel about being ordered to give up the position to Lucas?
I mean, he's my teammate, and he was faster than me, and I'm confident in my abilities, so I don't think I need to worry about it too much.
Great, well that's everything.
Hey, look, I know that wasn't easy letting me pass, but it was the right choice. It was good driving.
Yeah, that's how I describe it, mate. Just good, not great. 1 in 6. 1 in 6 makes the leap to F1. The other 5 are still watching their less talented teammates collect all their points. Shame, really. A lot of great drivers never get their chance because they do it all for the team.
Those teams got us here.
Yeah, but it's the drivers that take the risk. We should get the rewards. You ever won a race in F1? That's how winners think.
And remind me, how many F1 races have you won?
You watch this space. At the end of this championship, I'll be the one lifting the trophy, and I won't use my teammates to nick the podium.
Okay, I'm out. You believe what you want, Devon, but it's still early days.
He's either very clever or you're just a pushover. You really think if the situation was reversed, he'd do the same for you? You want to start looking out for yourself. No one else will.
Looking on to the next race, looks like we're at the Red Bull Ring at the Austrian Grand Prix, and we are battling our good old Devon Butler in the 18. Of course, he's trying to have a go. It has no DRS available to him at this point, and it looks like he's just going to take a look at the inside of officially turn 3, but he overshoots it, goes wide. He tries to recover though, gets himself still a good enough exit to keep himself alongside us. Ask Leclerc if that one is possible.
Look at them go! Devon Butler locked in wheel-to-wheel racing with his championship rival, desperate to shut them down and stop them getting past. And there's contact! Butler simply left them nowhere to go. There was just no way for them to have avoided that. And look, there's significant damage. Not sure if that was down to recklessness or sheer aggression, but I'm sure the stewards are going to have something to say very shortly.
Don't give up. You're still in this race.
Well, we're going to try. It is certainly going to be hard. At least we have the super softs. I imagine everybody else on the top 10 at least is running on the softs. Our first rival is Makino, so hopefully we can get some DRS from him and not get losing time battling him.
Okay, the stewards have awarded Devon a penalty. Push on. You can still catch him. You can still beat him.
Okay, so as you can see, he got a penalty and is going to the pits to switch for a set of softs. What I didn't know at this point is that he's actually going to serve his 5-second penalty on this pit stop. I thought it was going to be added towards the end of the Grand Prix. He's going to change for the softs nonetheless, and is going to rejoin the track. I believe in the battle for P8, maybe P7, as it looks like it is Albon. Either Albon or Latifi getting through the first corner. Then it was also one of the BWT guys, the Arden guys.
We're leading our teammate by 8.4 seconds.
Yeah, it looked like one of the BWT guys getting through as well, or the Arden guys getting through. So I believe it was Gunter. In the meantime, we have 4 laps to go. We are setting the purple first sector, so that's good. We means we have good pace at this point. Just want to catch up to McKinnon as quickly as possible, and hopefully not in a spot where it costs me time. Just want to get the RS on him and just sail on by, have a good lap. Hopefully that's what's going to happen, but yeah, let's see how it goes. It's definitely a difficult task.
Devon is 3 places ahead of you right now.
Okay, Devon is 3 places ahead of me right now. I'm going to disable Jeff for the following episode, because unfortunately it just doesn't shut up.
Okay, the gap behind is 4.1.
Yeah, as you can see, I don't care about my gap to Delatraz. I'm just going to pull away from him. So yeah, I would rather know where Butler is, but then it also doesn't shut up about that one. We are still doing purple rhythm. We are going to get the RS finally, but we didn't quite get enough of a run out of the last corner to really get past him before the braking zone into turn 1, so that's going to cost us time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to respect his pace. We did pull through, we did get the overtaking done, but look at that, we already lost about 2 tenths to our previous lap. As you look in the meantime, we have that is Gunter battling it out with Butler. He also got a better exit that time around, accelerating on the curb, so good job game, good traction there for Butler, but nonetheless Gunter getting himself down the inside, and Max Gunter is going to have a traction battle there, and he manages to keep himself ahead. So great defensive maneuver there from the Arden driver, so very well done from him, and he maintains what I believe to be P7, although that didn't last very long. He's now going to the middle of the track trying to defend himself. He's going to pick the inside line into turn 1, but Butler of course gets a little bit of a touch on the Arden guy. He did respect his space, but still that touch didn't allow Gunter to get the best of exits, and then he also gets the RS, so Gunter has absolutely zero chance to respond to that one, and it is going to be another place for Butler, even though at this point I'm not really sure if he's going to be able to catch up to the Dams car. I'm going to say that he's Albon, but let's see how that one develops. As you guys can see, just had the number 9, I believe, of Russell ahead of us in 9th place, so yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a little bit of a big gap, especially as Russell keeps on gaining time to Max Gunter there. We have on the images, but yeah, it's going to keep on gaining on him, so it's definitely not as slow as the duo that we have in front of Russell. So catching up to Russell will be difficult. I'm actually expecting Russell to start getting the RS on the last laps, or the last lap of this Grand Prix. Gunter is trying his best. He wasn't really able to keep up with Butler, but he does have the RS range. If Butler makes any mistake, then it's going to be an easy target for the Arden driver. But yeah, as you can see, we just started the last lap. We are improving though, so really trying to give it pins at this point. But Russell, I would say, is about 2 seconds, maybe even more than that. Almost 4 seconds basically. So yeah, it's going to be very tough to get him. At this point, I'm really just trying to get myself the fastest lap again, so I make sure that the AI doesn't get those lap times with like added pace. At the end of the race. Generally, the AI does get the fastest lap of the race in the last lap. So I was trying to avoid that one, just trying to improve. We weren't as quick as we could have into turn 5. But we are still about a tenth up on our previous best. So let's see how that one develops. Of course, our tires start to worn out a little bit as Lando Norris gets himself the win of this Austrian Grand Prix. And in the meantime, Russell is also very close to Max Gunter, but he's not really going to be able to take that one. We also missed the apex into the last corner, which is going to cost us time, but we still improve and we still get the fastest lap of the race. Couldn't get past 10th place though.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
Yeah, considering the circumstances, I think we did a good job, but we also got the fastest lap, which gets a little bit of damage control, but of course, I was expecting to get him with the 5-second penalty, but he served that on the pit, so I was surprised by that one.
So another fantastic victory for Carlin today. So, Davide, what did you make of that?
Well, it was a bit of a roller coaster, I think. Absolutely congratulations are in order here. That was a spectacular race and a fantastic drive from our win. I think though that after the race there's going to be a lot of eyes on Devon Butler regarding that collision. He's been very lucky today, in more than one way. Lucky to have broken away, lucky to have only received a penalty. It's a shame his rivals wasn't equally lucky today.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Carlin team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their driver walks out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team.
Carlin is still on a run of good results, as it is Lando Norris taking home the win of this Grand Prix. Artem Markelov gets P2 for the Russian time, so great job by the Russian driver. And then we have the Red Bull Junior driver Nirei Fukuzumi getting himself the last step of the podium after a 10th place at Spain, so he was able to improve on that one. Now looking at our results and at our championship standings, as you can see, it was Nick de Vries in 5th, Latifi in 4th, so yes, it was the driver from Thailand ahead of Butler. So we are still losing quite a bit in terms of our championship, in terms of the drivers' championship. We still got the fastest lap, so we actually got more points than Russell at the end of the race, fortunately. But moving to the team standings, we are 38 points behind Carlin, so we lost quite a bit there at the end. So it is a little bit unfortunate. 23 points behind the leader in the drivers as well. So yeah, we are a bit disappointed. I think it's a bit outrageous that he only got a 5 seconds penalty, but nonetheless we're going to have an interview with Claire.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. It seems to me that collision with Devon clearly cost you a lot of time. Are you disappointed with the final result?
I mean, we pushed as hard as we can, so I can't say I'm disappointed, but it's outrageous that Butler only got a 5-second penalty.
So did you ever think you'd get the place back from Devon?
I mean, it is always going to be hard, but when those things happen, you just have to get out there, focus, push the hardest you can, and just see what happens.
I've seen that you and Lucas have been picking up a lot of points recently. What do you think of your championship chances?
I mean, they look good. We carry a lot of momentum, which means the car works great.
Appreciate your time.
Hey, Devon! Devon, stop!
Not now, I'm busy.
Hey! What are you doing out there? Seriously.
I'm gonna celebrate my excellent drive.
We saw what you did. It was reckless. You should have been black flagged.
Yeah, and I wasn't because it was my line. You were in my space. You shouldn't have been. Next time, stay out of my way.
No! Someone could have been hurt.
And that didn't happen, so what's your problem?
My problem is that your actions out there are too dangerous.
Listen, contact happens, okay? I took my penalty, but I kept it focused, kept it smooth, and came out on top. That's racing. You want me to grovel to you every time I make a tough move? You want to play race director? Then quit driving and take the job. Until then, I don't owe you anything.
Devon, you don't get it. It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Look, you grab your space on the track, and then it's all or nothing. That's just how it goes. And anyway, you still couldn't beat me, even with my penalty. So no hard feelings, okay? Not from my end anyway. Chin up!
I love Butler. That's all I have to say about that.
So here we are in Abu Dhabi. Each and every event in the Formula 2 calendar has led us here to this, the final event of the championship, and one that promises to be a spectacle every bit as exciting as we might have hoped. So the Yas Island circuit offers 21 corners and a lap distance of around 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and plenty of excitement for the fans, no doubt. Joining me for one last time here this year is Davide Valsecchi. Davide, I'm glad you're here, because I think I'm going to need help processing all this. Surely, this is as exciting as it gets.
Yeah, you're right, Alex. It's the perfect finale. Two drivers, rivals of season, now going into the final race, tied on points, both way out in front at the top of the standings. Meaning whichever of these two drivers cross the line first will be crowned champion. I can't wait.
Okay, this is it. Last race of the season. All you have to do is finish in the points ahead of Devon, and the next time we see each other, you'll be the F2 World Champion. No pressure then. Good luck.
So we are starting from a little bit of the mid-pack, which is unfortunate, but we have 5 lights, and away we go. And we have the starts of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. They don't have the greatest of starts. We have the Arden getting on our inside. In the meantime, we have the Dams not getting the greatest start. He's already pressurized by Weber, who is getting along the inside there into turn 3. That is Albon, if I looked at his helmet and I saw that one correctly. Weber, though, is now under pressure by good old Butler, who's getting on his inside through the chicane, but is now going to have to stay on the outside through the hairpin. We do the same way to Russell, who actually tried to take the move. Nicely done, we get past and we get another place. So we are still right behind Butler, who's right behind Weber, and he's actually taking the slipstream. Is he going to have a maneuver at that one? Does he have the space? I believe yes, he's gaining, and he's going hard on the brakes there into the chicane. Let's see who takes the advantage. He's going on the outside, which turns into the inside. He pushes a little bit wide Weber. There's a little bit of contact there, and we have Prime Seat in the house to see that battle. Butler already got past Weber. There's no way the German can retaliate, so in our head we just have to go for it, because if we allow a car to be between us and Butler, it might as well be all over. So we managed to get ourselves past our teammate, and we are now chasing the Carlin driver. Fortunately for us, we are able to still keep up with him after the start. He overtook 2 cars, I believe. We overtook 2 cars, so we are still right behind him. We have it's Butler, then it is Albon, then it is Nick De Vries, and it is the Russian Artem Markelov. And look at that camera angle. That was a very cool camera angle there from the hotel. But yeah, at least we complete the first lap. We didn't lose too many places to our rival, so hopefully we just have to overtake him and everything will be fine until the end of the race. So yeah, just trying to develop ourselves a good pace. Of course, I haven't been able to drive these cars on this track since, I mean, I've been able, I just didn't do it, right? I haven't driven these cars on this track since the launch of the game.
Be careful if you go for the overtake.
Thank you very much, Jeff, but yeah, I haven't been able to drive these cars around here since the release of the game, so I'm going to have to take a little bit to adapt to the track and just to find the lines and find where I'm quicker than the AI and where the AI is quicker than me. So it might take a little bit of a while. Weber has already closed in on me quite a bit, and of course not on this lap because the RS was not available, but on the following lap he's going to have the RS and he's going to start pressurizing me quite a bit. He's actually going to have a go at the inside into the chicane, and he actually gets his nose heads there, gets over the curb. It's going to turn into his outside. I do their shaky corner cut, but we managed to hold on to our position. Looking a little bit backwards, we had Norris in a battle there with Russell, so the Carlin driver also overtook the ART car. And Weber is not giving up though. He's trying to have a go around the outside into the double chicane, but we don't really give him the space to pull off that one. A little further behind, we have a battle there between Aitken, who's getting the inside of Fuoco, I believe that was. Then it was Della Traza right behind him. This is a battle for the 11th place, if I'm not mistaken, but Jack Aitken getting himself up a position, potentially even 2, so great job there from the British driver. Jumping back to ourselves, about to finish lap number 3.
Markelov's out in front.
Okay, so yeah, Markelov is out in front. Thank you, Jeff, in case we didn't know Markelov was in front. But yeah, Butler is already pulled away a little bit. We are really improving our pace compared to our previous best, and as you can see, at least we got the purple third sector, which means we aren't that slow. but the gap is already over 1.5 seconds. We need to maintain that gap, especially as Butler is going to start getting slipstream and DRS and potentially even battle with the cars ahead, which might be a good thing if they battle for long, but of course it might just get cars between ourselves and him and make things even more difficult. Not making things easier at all is Butler, as he's going to get himself on the inside of our car, which turns into the outside and actually gets through, but it is going to be Norris who gets the better exit and is going to take the DRS. Of course, Weber also has DRS from ourselves, so it's going to be tough. Weber is going to hold on to the inside. Let's see how it goes. Yes, he maintains the inside, but of course Norris is no slouch and is still keeping side by side with him as we exit the double chicane now into the left-hander. Weber has the advantage, forced Norris to accelerate on the curb. Of course, not as much traction there, and he gets himself or at least maintains himself up in 7th place, I believe that was. No, that's actually 6th place. Even though he took a look there at Russell, just trying to pick up any pieces, none come his way. That also allowed us to have a little bit of a cushion, a little bit of breathing room from Weber. We are still posting the fastest third lap of, or the fastest third sector of the race, but we are at 6 laps to go and we aren't really closing in on Butler. At least Butler hasn't really been able to overtake anyone, but Markelov is still resisting in first place lap after lap without having DRS, sustaining a lot of pressure from Nick De Vries, but sooner or later that is going to buckle, I believe, and then it's going to shake things up ahead, so we need to be closer to them. We need to be prepared for when the battles start breaking out. That tank slapper is definitely not going to help. It's going to compromise our entire run through these DRS zones, so not only lost time on exits, the cars ahead are also going to get themselves further away. So look a little bit further back, we have Boccolacci having a move around the outside of one of the Arden guys. I believe that is, yes, that is the Red Bull junior driver, that is Fukuzumi, who gets a little bit hung out to dry on the exit of the corner, even though he's going to have DRS. Is it going to be enough to get back at the MP Motorsport guy? Let's see as we go on board with Latifi. Is he also going to pick up any pieces that might come his way? No, because the Japanese driver backs out. He had a look at the outside. I would maybe recommend to have a look down the inside there, but he had a look around the outside and there was not much space, especially if you wanted to outbrake his rival. You would have to do that on the curb, so that it would probably just lock up, right? But we move on to a Butler. It's getting ever closer towards the end of the race, and just taking a look as everyone is going to chase each other with DRS available to them. Let's see how it goes. It's not really close enough to overtake, but is there a battle for P1? Looks like so. Is the P finally going to overtake the Russian driver? Looks like he couldn't quite pull it off into the chicane. He's going to get a better exit now. Let's find out. As it's going to be close. It's going to be DRS on the back of the number 4. Is he going to have a go on the inside into the chicane? No, he is too far behind. We have a little bit of smoke there as the Russian driver locks up the tires, the front tires. But yeah, that battle though, fortunately for us, it allowed us, it wasn't much of a battle, but it was enough. It was enough to allow us to catch up with them. We are already under a second of Butler for the first time since the battle with Weber, right, at the beginning of the race. So we are doing improvements, we are finding progress, and we are getting closer. Of course, De Vries is really pressurizing the lead, so yeah, things might break out and we really need to be as close to Butler as possible, especially if he ends up overtaking someone. We have about 3 laps to go, so not much time to react in case he actually gets a good run on the top 3. Let's see how it goes. We have DRS. Weber also has DRS, but fortunately isn't going to overtake us. And looking at the front, De Vries finally has a go at the Russian. He's going to take the outside, which is of course going to turn into the inside. He does get a better exit. The Russian is hung out to dry on the exit. That's going to give a run not only for De Vries but also for Albon there as he opens the DRS. He's side by side with the Russian time driver. Who is going to outbrake who into the chicane? It's going to be the Dams driver getting himself the place, and very fortunately for us, Butler wasn't able to get himself up a place. Very fortunate for us. He's still in P4. He wasn't able to capitalize on any of that. So yeah, we just need to keep ourselves composed, just try to get good corner exits to pull away enough from Weber so that Weber doesn't have enough space to challenge us, and we are going to be golden with that one. As you can see, we are improving in our second sector, but let's see, do we still have the best third sector? I actually want to find out, because we just improved the second one. If we get best third sector, we might actually do a personal best lap, even though that seems unlikely, especially with that tank slapper there. We did well to control it, but nonetheless, yeah, we are 4/10 slower apparently than our best lap. Moving on now to the beginning of the last lap, nothing really happened, no position changes occurred, so we are going to start the last lap. We did get the not the fastest lap, but our personal fastest lap. The fastest lap is courtesy of Weber, so he's at least taking the points away from our teammate, which is good to see. But yeah, it's going to be the last lap. It's going to be now or nothing if we want to win the championship. Markelov has lost a couple car lengths from the two cars ahead, so Butler might have a better slipstream on him than the Russian driver has on the cars ahead. That might give a run on Butler. Let's see how it goes. Everyone's going to have DRS, ourselves included. We are closer to Butler than ever before. Let's see how it goes. There is Albon. Does he get a look? No, he doesn't get a run on the wheel. Keeps himself ahead, and he's probably going to have good enough of an exit to keep himself ahead, just like Markelov has done for the couple laps that have been leading up to this point. Let's see, on the slipstream we are going down into the double chicane on board with Weber. He's gonna get himself looking at the battle. We actually corner cut there a little bit, but we get a major run. We actually didn't get even a warning there, but you do get a run, and we overtake Butler. We threw ourselves down the inside, and that was always going to be all or nothing there, but we threw ourselves down the inside. We actually weren't able to overtake on the DRS zone, so we actually straight lined the chicane a little bit. We didn't even get a warning there, surprisingly enough, but we managed to get a better run into the left-hander, threw ourselves down the inside. He gave us the space. There was a bit of contact, but doesn't matter. We are leading the rivalry, and we just have one corner left to go. Nick De Vries is going to take the win of this Grand Prix, but we are going to become F2 World Drivers Champions.
Well done, good finish. You stepped up and achieved what we asked. Good job.
It's been my privilege over the years to witness a number of great sporting events, and here's another to add to that prestigious list. It's the ultimate dream for any racing driver. We have a new Formula 2 World Champion. Great effort there from Prema to take the victory today. Talk to me, Davide. Was it everything you hoped for?
Everything and more. He had it all. The rival, the tension, the excitement. These two drivers have been locked in fierce competition all season. And to see it comes down to head-to-head battle for the line like this, well, this kind of things doesn't happen very often. Devon put in a good performance throughout the championship, but today the accolade goes to his rival and the new Formula 2 champion.
And there you have it, boys. We are F2 World Driver Champions. It was a tough one. It went right down to the wire. We managed to reel the rivals in the last couple laps, but we managed to get it through, and I couldn't be happy with that one. That was really a tough one to get.
That result also seals the Formula 2 World Championship title. Congratulations to our winner after an incredible season. We see a new name at the top of the championship table as we reach the end of the race weekend. And now, Davide Valsecchi, let me ask you, who is your driver of the day?
My driver of the day was Dorian Boccolacci. He did a cracking job of moving through the field. Just a very good race.
With that result, the title is secure, and it's Campos who have claimed the honours. Truly a force to be reckoned with. And after all that excitement, I think it's time for a lie down. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you when Formula 2 returns.
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled. Wow, you're the driver's champion. How does it feel?
Well, it feels amazing, right? Of course it feels amazing. It was a hard season, a tough season, but we got on top at the end.
So that was a thrilling end to the season. How was the race for you?
It was a tough one. We had to push quite hard to catch up with the top 4, but at the end we managed to... It was a risk, but we managed to pull it off, and yeah, very happy with the results.
Well, we've been hearing rumours of a possible future for you in Formula 1. Care to comment?
Well, the only thing I can say is that I've proven myself against the best in every single step of competition I've had, so why not do it against the best drivers in the world?
Great. Well, that's everything.
Congratulations, mate. F2 champion.
Hey, congratulations. Enjoy it, 'cause it's the last time it'll ever happen.
Devon, it's okay to be upset. You came very close.
Yeah, we know things would have turned out very differently if I didn't get slapped with that ridiculous penalty.
What is it with you and complaining?
Look, somehow you managed to do a lot of things right today. It's great. You needed the win, I didn't. For me, this was always just a stepping stone to F1. Oh, you two. You got your work cut out for you now that I'm gone. See, you're gonna have to prove to everyone it was more than just luck that got you here.
Sure. Winning one race is luck. Winning the championship is talent.
Really? Next time you use that incredible talent to ram into someone and steal all their points, remember they won't be as forgiving as I am. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I gotta run. Things to sign, important paperwork and all that. I'm sure you understand. Ciao!
So, with this big win, you're going to be getting a lot of interest. All I can say is choose wisely, or else you might end up with someone like Devon as your teammate. Come on, let's go celebrate.
Ah, welcome. Come on in. Take a seat. It's time we had the big conversation about your next move. Your performance at the F2 Championships last year got you a lot of attention from the Formula 1 teams. Some of it more positive than others. I'm not so concerned with who does or doesn't like you. You'll have plenty of time to win the doubters over. But I am concerned with our choices. They're narrowing as we haven't shown commitment to anyone. Now, as your agent, my advice is to make your decision now. We can worry about comfort and finer points further down the line. I need you to review these. You've earned every single one of these proposals. So take your time, have a read through, and don't get too hung up on specifics. Let's get you a Formula 1 seat.
Okay, so yeah, obviously we have added influence within Mercedes, Racing Point and Williams because we took a part of the Mercedes program. But I'm going to show you what I picked in the next episode. So this is it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like button. If you did not, the dislike button is as always right beside it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Hit the bell icon for any notifications of whenever I'm about to start a live stream or to post a video. Hope to see you guys next time and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.